constantly shifting landscape of West African energy politics, one of the most ambitious undertakings in recent memory is unfolding in Niger. The Salkadamna coal project, a massive attempt to transform the region's dependence on foreign fuels, has become a centerpiece of Niger's plan to claim energy sovereignty and foster integration among its closest allies. Revived from its roots in the 1980s, the project is now being advanced with the kind of scale and ambition that could alter the energy map of West Africa. Before we dive deeper into today's update, take a moment to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Your support is key to helping us grow and reach more viewers like you. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so you never miss out on exciting updates. The reserves are staggering, about 69 million tons of coal located in Niger's Tahoua region. And with them comes the vision of a sprawling infrastructure network, including a 5,200 megawatt thermal power plant, an open pit mine, high voltage transmission lines, and a factory dedicated to producing coal briquettes. It is a project designed not just to power Niger, but to extend electricity across borders, drawing neighboring nations into a shared grid that reduces reliance on expensive imported fuel. Initially built around cooperation with Burkina Faso and Mali, two of Niger's closest partners in the Alliance of Sahel States, the project has grown to attract new interest. On the 13th of August 2025, Niger's Energy Minister Amadou Haoua visited Lomé to present the initiative to Togo, securing the country's interest in joining. Chad has also been mentioned as a potential partner, further reinforcing the idea that this is not a single country gamble, but a regional strategy weaving together mining, power generation, and export corridors in a unified approach. The timing of this expansion is no accident. West Africa remains deeply vulnerable to the volatility of global fuel markets and the geopolitical shocks that have shaken supply chains in recent years. Diesel and fuel oil imports burden national budgets and keep electricity tariffs high for households and industries alike. With coal-fired power generation on such a vast scale, proponents argue that Niger and its partners can finally free themselves from the cycle of dependency, stabilizing their energy sectors in a way that promotes industrialization and economic growth. Already, a 600 megawatt pilot phase of the project is underway in Niger itself, being built through a public-private partnership that combines local investment from Niger's Wanda Group with international expertise from China's Harbin Electric Company and India's Kalpataru. The hope is that this pilot will prove the feasibility of the larger vision while also beginning to export surplus power to neighbors who are desperate for affordable, stable electricity. Togo, for example, sees this as a cornerstone for achieving universal electricity access by 2030, a target that requires not just domestic expansion, but integration into larger regional supply chains. And yet, in this grand plan, one country is conspicuously absent: Ghana. As Niger courts new partners and broadens the reach of Salkadamna, no invitation has been extended to Accra. Despite the fact that Ghana faces its own persistent energy struggles, ranging from reliance on hydroelectricity, vulnerable to droughts, to imported natural gas and oil that drain its foreign reserves, it has been left outside of the coalition that is beginning to form around the coal project. Searches of regional coverage and official statements reveal no mention of Ghanaian involvement, even as Togo and Chad are brought into the fold. Instead, Ghana appears to be charting a separate path, emphasizing compressed natural gas, biofuel initiatives, and renewable investments through its Renewable Energy Master Plan. Why has Ghana been excluded? The reasons may lie as much in politics as in energy strategy. The Salkadamna project is tightly bound to the Alliance of Sahel States, Niger, Mali, and Burkina Faso, countries that broke away from the Economic Community of West African States in early 2024 after escalating disputes over sanctions and military interventions. Ghana, in contrast, remains firmly aligned with ECOWAS, often taking a hard stance against the military governments of its northern neighbors. Recent tensions with Burkina Faso, including mutual accusations of interference and security concerns along the border, have only deepened the divide. Within this geopolitical climate, it is not surprising that Niger's outreach has prioritized allies and sympathetic states rather than Ghana, which is seen as an anchor of the ECOWAS bloc. But the question arises, what if this were to change? What if, Amid diplomatic thawing or reconciliation between ECO and the AES, Ghana were suddenly offered an invitation to participate in Salkadamna. What might that mean for Ghana's energy sector, its economy, and its position in the region? Imagining such a scenario opens the door to both tantalizing opportunities and difficult challenges. The first and most obvious benefit for Ghana would be diversification and security of supply. By linking into Salkadamna's transmission network, Ghana could import surplus coal-generated electricity and inject hundreds of additional megawatts into its national grid. This would be a significant relief for a system frequently plagued by shortages and load shedding, known locally as dumbsore. Stable coal-based imports could cushion Ghana against the volatility of oil and gas prices, lowering generation costs and potentially reducing tariffs for consumers and businesses alike. For a country striving to expand industrial production from mining to manufacturing, cheaper and more reliable electricity could unlock new levels of competitiveness and growth. The boost to investor confidence alone might help to accelerate projects under frameworks such as the African Continental Free Trade Area, which Ghana hosts. Economically, joining Salkadamna could also position Ghana as a bridge between the AES alliance and ECOWAS, leveraging its membership in the latter to facilitate broader integration. Coal briquettes produced in Niger might supply Ghana's agro-industrial projects as a low-cost fuel, while new trade flows in energy and related sectors could create spin-off opportunities for transport, logistics, and infrastructure development. Furthermore, by engaging with international partners like China and India already involved in the project, Ghana could attract fresh streams of foreign investment aligned with its own infrastructure priorities. The broader regional impact would also be considerable. With Ghana's participation, the project's scale would grow even further, increasing the viability of its 5,200 megawatt target. A more interconnected grid could help balance out seasonal and climatic risks across the subregion, offsetting Ghana's vulnerability to drought-induced declines at Akasambo with Niger's coal output. At a time when Nigerian gas exports, on which Ghana depends heavily, remain subject to disruption, this diversification could provide a crucial safety net. Yet, these opportunities would not come without heavy baggage. For Ghana, which has made international commitments to climate action under the Paris Agreement and developed ambitious renewable energy targets, embracing coal-fired power would be a controversial step. Environmental advocates would be quick to point out the contradiction of investing in coal, even as the world races to decarbonize. The risks of pollution and environmental damage could inflame domestic opposition, particularly given the ecological crises already caused by illegal mining activities that have devastated rivers and forests. Reconciling coal integration with sustainability goals might require Ghana to demand carbon capture technologies, transitional frameworks, or assurances that coal power would serve only as a bridge until renewables are scaled up. Geopolitically, too, the hurdles would be formidable. An invitation to join Salkadamna would almost certainly complicate Ghana's close partnership with Nigeria, a dominant player in ECOWAS and a supplier of natural gas to African gas pipeline. Nigeria could interpret Ghana's involvement with AES-aligned states as a threat to its own energy influence, straining relations between two of the region's most important economies. The lingering border disputes and mistrust between Ghana and Burkina Faso would also require confidence building and diplomacy before genuine cooperation could take root. Practical implementation would add another layer of complexity. Extending high-voltage transmission lines from Niger through Burkina Faso or Togo into Ghana would require enormous investment at a time when Ghana faces significant fiscal constraints, including high debt levels and limited budgetary space. Financing these expansions would likely involve further entanglement with foreign lenders and technology providers, raising concerns about sovereignty and dependency. At the same time, the political capital required to justify such a project domestically could be immense, demanding transparent feasibility studies, public consultations, and strong leadership to overcome inevitable opposition. In this hypothetical world, Ghana's energy ministry, led by figures like Matthew Opoku-Prempeh, would be tasked with balancing these competing pressures. The allure of cheaper, more stable energy would have to be weighed against environmental commitments, geopolitical alliances, and financial realities. Public opinion would likely be divided, with some segments embracing coal power as a solution to crippling outages, while others warn against long-term ecological and diplomatic costs. What this scenario ultimately reveals is the delicate balancing act that defines energy policy in West Africa. On one side lies the urgent need for reliable, affordable power to fuel development and improve lives. On the other lies the equally urgent need to align with global sustainability goals and avoid the mistakes of heavy dependence on fossil fuels. Ghana's exclusion from Salkadamna underscores the way geopolitics can close off certain paths, but it also highlights the creative choices that remain open. For Ghana, the road forward may not involve coal, but the principle of regional integration, pooling resources, sharing infrastructure, and building resilience through cooperation remains as critical as ever. As of today, Ghana continues to stand outside of Salkadamna's orbit, watching as Niger and its partners move ahead with their vision. Yet history has shown that in West Africa, alliances and strategies can shift quickly. Should an invitation ever come, it could redefine Ghana's energy trajectory in profound ways. The stakes would be nothing less than the balance between sovereignty, sustainability, and survival in a region where the power to keep the lights on remains one of the greatest challenges of all.
If today is your first time watching this channel or you are returning to this channel for the exciting content, please subscribe to the channel for more educative and developmental projects across Ghana and Africa as a whole. Do you want to know about the state of a project in Africa? Then make sure to like and comment the name of the project you would like us to talk about and its current state.